Welcome to another episode of Exploring the Vintage NFT Space podcast with ZeroG. Today, I'm happy to have back with me Blackstar, the owner of NFT Relics. Thanks for joining me again.
Hello, Sir ZeroG. I'm very glad to be back.
Yeah, it's uh, it's definitely been a wild. It's been about a year since we talked on the record. It's been a wild year. I've been looking forward to talking with you again.
Yeah, well, that's I didn't know that it was so long, right? But there is a lot of things to say, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has changed in the interim. I since we talked last time, a couple big like macro uh for crypto macro events are like the we've witnessed the ETF approval finally for Bitcoin and now Ethereum, and those have kind of played out. Like what, I was gonna ask you like your thoughts about both the macro for crypto and then for we can get into HNFTs. But one thing I think has been really, to me, it's very strange or spooky almost is we've witnessed a bull run in ETH and BTC, but we've watched the on-chain volume basically plummet to I know like last week like the for Bitcoin it was like 4 VSAT, and with Ethereum it was like again like almost nothing. So um I was kind of curious to talk to you about how you think, like, if we're gonna see this, how you see this playing out, because one of the things that I've been just asking myself is this going to impact, like, by moving all these coins into ETFs and whatnot, is this going to impact the potential pool of people that are going to care about actually interacting with the chain and the stuff that lives there, right?
Well, I think we live in a very similar time right now. We're experiencing or witnessing a very similar time we had in 2019.
Hmm.
I know it's not it's a little bit like it's 5 years ago, but in 2019 we had a very interesting price movement from Bitcoin going from 3,000 to like 16,000, right? All-time high was 20 2 years prior, and not a single altcoin or like a very few selected ones pumped with Bitcoin, right? And everyone thought, well, because of course on-chain activity was also trending towards zero, while Bitcoin was almost touching new highs. Um, so it it was the same question, right? What about DeFi? What about okay? Back then there was not really DeFi. It cooked up in 2020, but all this infrastructure was just not used. And the reason is it's pretty simple because we are not in a proper bull run yet, right? We may have done new all-time highs, but it has been they're not real like not really all-time highs because we have to factor in inflation, right? So maybe if that inflation wasn't there, maybe we wouldn't have been over 96,000, right? So this all-time high now is not as it is not like really telling for a new bull run. We are still in year three of the bear market, right? So I expect a bull run in 2025 and not now. And after that, we will have everything like everything coming back again, right? We never had a concentrated bull run where there was only one sector that profited. We had everything pumping, and also the stuff that survived the 3 years of bear market, they pumped the hardest, right?
Hmm.
It's always those who are there on day one of the bull run who have everything in preparation that will pump the hardest. So for NFTs, it is we have a lot of failed projects from 2021 onwards. We have these PFP scams that will likely never come back, right? We have Bored Apes that are on, I think they're also at generational lows. I have to check. They're
I think
also
they
under,
broke the last time I heard from or I saw them, they broke below 10F.
yeah, yeah. The top bid is 8.8, 8.8 ETH, floor is 9.2. And I think punks are at 24 floor price. I saw a sale for 21 ETH. Um, okay, the top bid for Wrapped CryptoPunks is 18.8 on Blur. Um, but yeah, so everything has come down, and uh, but the idea of NFTs hasn't vanished, right? There's still people who are making digital art. There's still people who who are believing in this, right? And one of these people is me and you, right? We knew that this is going to happen, right? We knew that this is going to happen. We have seen this coming since 2021, since this madness of 2021. We knew that everything was basically just vapor, and all the people in the vintage NFT space, most of them that had a bad impact on the collectors world, they're all gone, right? They all resorted to other stuff, mainly ordinals and runes or whatever. And these are also down bad, right? And they are
I
also
haven't
not
been
looking.
following those. So those traded.
Excuse me?
I haven't been following the
Ah,
ordinals and runes since the whole runes launch. I hadn't followed like
yeah, it's basically looking pretty bad.
okay. Well,
Pretty
that
bad.
was kind of foreseeable because I like to me it seemed like pure hype in the sense that like with runes it seemed like just a like it's like counterparty but just using ordinals for the asset registration. It didn't even fix the my big thing with like the BRC20s is that that they didn't fix with runes from my understanding is that um it takes multiple it like unlike with counterparty you like it takes multiple transactions to like break out and then list and send like do trading with those BRC20s. It's
Yeah.
very inefficient from a transaction
Yeah, yeah.
sense.
And it was everything was very clunky, and it was when it comes to like ordinal NFTs, it was the same kind of vibe we had in 2021, but just under a different kind of narrative,
Yeah.
which that narrative wasn't really new, right?
Well,
We
what's
had
interesting is
collectibles.
that like the narrative for a lot of the ordinal stuff was actually kind of an echo to what we are looking at as they were a lot of the hype was basically trying to posit as if these ordinal things were basically a historic first of some kind.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, this is the first NFT on Bitcoin. This is the first 10,000 collection. This is the first PFP, right? We had these node monkeys and
Yeah.
puppets, and they're all now they are at minus 95% or something. They pumped to like zero point 0.7 Bitcoin at one point, which was also crazy. My whole page was full of them. But yeah, the narrative was fake, and these people they just try to, when confronted, they just try to, as always, to try to rewrite the history, right?
Well,
Well, it is not. They're like, okay, yeah, counterparty existed, but it's not like ordinals exist now, right? So they just defined Bitcoin collectibles by what ordinals brought and not what different kinds of methods there are, right, in the past. And now it's, of course, like I don't see anything. I don't know if the Twitter algorithm changed to my favor that I don't see this stuff anymore. But now everything is pretty much gone, and this was also very foreseeable. I never participated in any of this. But a lot of the vintage NFT advocates from 2021, they all moved there, and yeah, now it's over.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess one of the things I to clarify, one of the things I was kind of pondering with the rise of these ETFs is if this is going to affect essentially the user base for NFTs and historic NFTs, because previously at least a subset of people that weren't leaving their funds on the exchange, people were self-custodying, and then once they have self-custody, they could use those funds to, buy and sell and trade stuff. But with people that are buying, they're getting price exposure through ETFs or whatnot. They don't actually have control of those funds ever, and they can never make a purchase of NFTs that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, other people are going to do it, right? There are other people who are going to use Coinbase, other people who are going to use different ways to get Ethereum, to get Bitcoin, and once all hell breaks loose, as it did the previous bull runs, then of course money is going to flow in some way to NFTs again, right? NFTs are a still a very, very tiny part of both ETF approved chains,
Yeah.
right? And which is also interesting because we have two approved ETF chains, and both of these chains, in some way, were share the origin of digital collectibles on the blockchain, right?
Mhm.
Bitcoin and ETH. You have we have Counterparty in 2014, and we have Ethereum from 2015, and the earliest examples they come from this time period, right? So I am pretty confident to own the oldest and to collect the oldest stuff from two chains that are the most dominant in the market, and both now ETF approved, which you can guarantee we are going to go a lot higher than we anticipate, right? Ethereum's market cap in comparison to big tech companies is still negligible, and I'm pretty confident. I would say more confident than ever.
Yeah, I'm not this like I still view these early digital assets as, as an amazing opportunity. I was just kind of wondering if this is going to change kind of the how quickly we get users or interest back in the space when we don't have like part of that basically regrowth of the user base isn't going to be essentially on chain, if you know what I mean. Like those funds are diverted into part of those funds are diverted into these holding instruments that aren't liquid and like on chain.
Yeah, but I mean, this the crypto is going to be a like we could all agree that this is going to be the future, right? We are very close to that point where the majority of the West is going to be exposed to crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is only the West, right? I mean, we have economies that haven't even really touched this market yet, right? We have I don't know how many people in the world that don't even have internet access, right? So there is no way that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not going to be assets of the new world, right? And I don't see that creations on these chains, like creative creations, not financial vehicles primarily,
Yeah.
that they are going to be a detrimental part of this new economy, right? I don't see like, and I'm also not worried about it, right? We are now, I mean, Bitcoin is now at 95,000. The last time we spoke, when you said it was a year ago, then we were significantly lower, right?
Hmm.
And it's just a matter of time. We will have people who will like the money always tickles down a little bit, right? Higher prices in BTC and ETH always like it will always trickle down. It will always go to some, I don't know, some L2. It will go to new coins, new projects. There will be 1,000 X's, there will be 100 X's, there will be a lot of 10 X's. Um, there will be NFT mints, there will be metaverses, there will everything will get revived, but not in the same speculative manner, but um in a more matured way, I would
Yeah,
say.
like yeah, to your point, I saw it's funny, I saw on Twitter a few weeks ago like these people were talking about like 2021 like and 2022 like PFPs being like retro and basically make like being value because they'd come back. I was just like
Yeah,
just laughing. I was like
yeah, yes,
they're
exactly,
never
exactly.
coming back.
Yes,
It's
yes.
over.
Yeah, and the thing is that we already had, I think I don't know if I made fun of it already in our past talk, but people right now, there are people right now who say that 2021 PFP projects are historical and that they are the OG NFTs,
Oh no, that's
right?
crazy.
So they and this is what is going to happen inevitably every time in every bull run. We will have people using the provenance of dead projects and render them as historical. And this is something that, of course, will always benefit to the actual origin, right? To ground zero, so to speak, which is us, right? Which is NFT relics, because this is what we have been focusing on. We are not focusing on 2021 historical PFPs or something, and we will never do that, right?
Historic in the sense that they were made minted in 2021. I mean,
Yes, yes, and popular. I don't know because there was a blimp of a cool cat in New York City, or I don't know, a brick wall with this kind of NFT. Oh, this is a story. This was culture, right? Everyone who was there knows it. So I'm pretty sure that this narrative will play out again, and that it will happen, that it will just transfer to us again, where it will ultimately become popular, right? Because we are in a niche, we are in a sector that everyone right now um seems to think of dead, right? Everyone thinks NFTs are dead. Uh, so many people left the space. I don't see anything of it in my timeline. I know about some artists that are still doing art, but apart from that, nothing is really going on. All the big historical NFT influencers have left the space, and there's basically only Relics people and the Rare Pepe Telegram guys, right, or the Counterparty Telegram guys. That's it. There's nothing left. And I have seen this environment of before. I witnessed this environment before, and I think I couldn't be so um what is it called? Confident if I hadn't had seen this all before, right? And knowing how crazy things can get, right? Because in the last stages of the bull run, it really becomes crazy.
yeah, the mania.
Yeah, yeah, the mania, like everyone is buying, and you have to remember that people that participated last time, they will probably participate again, right?
Mhm.
And so many people that had nothing to do with anything. They learned how to buy shitcoins on Binance Smart Chain on PancakeSwap from their phone, right? They knew how to do it. So
I, I,
there will be, and all these projects that made so many millions of dollars, you don't think they're gonna do it all again, right?
I
There will
heard
be, yeah.
I heard this funny story that prisoners are trading shit coins on Solana inside the in jail, you know.
That's possible. That's 100% possible.
Like it's going on like right now in the US. Like
Yeah,
I heard that I just had to laugh. I mean, imagine when we actually yeah, I mean the amount of activity when we get real participation because like you said, all like crypto's it's still like for crypto, like crypto Twitter is pretty much dead. Like no one's posting about outside of a couple people about like historic NFTs other than us hardcore people that are still,
yeah,
collecting and it's funny about the only projects I follow anymore that are still active
yeah,
are like fake rares and dank rares and like Wojak Way and those that counterparty collections. But besides that, I just don't even I don't nothing comes across my feed at least that I'm not even aware of any of these newer things. I think that that whole idea of just being able to instantly create a 10K collection, gin up the hype. I think we're pretty much done with that now,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you have to become more sophisticated. And I mean, we will see dumb shit, right? We will see people. I mean, in the last bull run, we had people that made a collection of themselves, like some Indian kid, right? He made a PFP collection and he made like $200,000 in one day. Right? There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of like we will see the same thing again, right? And the same patterns we will see again. So we will probably know when the top is in, right? And we the bull run is absolutely unpredictable. Like we cannot. I mean, look at punks, right? Punks are the perfect example. Nobody gave a shit about punks,
Yeah.
right? Nobody gave a shit about punks. They were ugly, humanoid pictures. They tried to pump and dump it on OpenSea and on Rarible. They tried everything to, I don't know, get attention. Nobody really gave a shit, right? And in the matter of, I don't know, 6 months, they pumped to 450,000 a pop, right? They 100x. Gary Vee talked about them.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Beast bought them. Logan Paul bought them. Everyone bought them. And even if you just held two punks, you became a millionaire, right? And these were free in 2017, and they traded for below $1,000 for the majority of their existence, right?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now, yeah,
that's a great example. I like the other thing I think is interesting to watch too is the really crazy premium that autoglyphs has right now. Still, I'll pull it up, but last time I looked, they still maintained a really high premium versus yeah, let's see. It looks like the floor on that is around 115 ETH.
yeah,
So, again, it's massively different than I guess uh, relative to what it is, it seems mispriced because of the Larva Labs connection still.
yeah. And it has a an offer for 140,000, right? The
Okay.
offer is
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
52. Yeah,
Yeah. Ask is over 300 and
yeah,
the offer is less than half. So
yeah. And that's, I mean, what you can buy with 140,000 in this market right now, it
I
is like the what is it called? The disbalance is
yeah.
so fucking huge.
Yeah, like we've seen in the last year, I was lucky enough to get something I never thought I'd be able to get. I got a my own FD card, and
Yeah,
I paid significantly less than 140,000 for it for sure.
yeah.
Um, I mean, even if they were equal, I think that there's no comparison really.
No. There is no comparison, right? There is no comparison, and it is with a lot of stuff, right? And we have known this for almost 3 years, right? In October, NFT Relics is 3 years old, and I think this will be the last year. And I think in October 2025 we will all reminisce about these times. Yeah, I'm serious, right? I
I
don't.
could I could see it. I guess you know, I'm a little bit torn in terms of if we'll see a bull market again in these historic NFTs, I'm sure. It's just I'm a little bit torn because right now the macro environment for the real economy is so terrible. I'm just kind of curious if that's gonna I could see that bleeding, like I could see it going both ways that that would force more people into crypto to escape the inflation and the
Yeah.
terrible national economies. The other way I could see that happen is you know it's going to force some of the people who still hold these assets to uh, force liquidation into the market too. So or maybe we'll see a combination of both, you know.
Well, in 2021 there was Corona, right?
Yeah.
And nobody nobody stepped outside for almost a year, right? And it was
Yeah.
almost the whole world was affected by it, and we made like the madness was right there, right? So it doesn't really matter. Everyone thought the world is going to shit, and we still made like insane gains and everything. So I'm not worried about the macro. We can always like for the Bitcoin never
Yeah.
in the like in all its history it never really gave a shit about it, right? And you can always use it as an argument for or against Bitcoin, like you said, right? Oh, this is not going to be good, right? And then um when it pumps, then the same argument is used. Oh yeah, because now everything's going to shit, people are buying more Bitcoin, right? It's not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I think that we will have a proper bull run. Um, I hope it's going to be the last bull run where I actively participate in, right? Before I can just retire, basically, and pursue other things. And yeah, I really want to build out relics. I don't want to leave it as a Discord. I want to have like a an interactive metaverse kind of experience where you have like your own character and you have like a marketplace, a real marketplace, right? In this in a pixel world where you have your own avatar, and then you can go into some places where only holders can go. So I want to make it like a little bit. It has been my dream in some way. Like World Wide Web, the this metaverse, the 2D one.
I'm not familiar with that one, no.
Okay, because this is like a very good example. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do a to do a fund for historical NFTs, an
Hmm.
investment fund, a professional one and everything. So I have some things in my head that I really want to achieve this time. And like really just properly have history in in the way that it actually is, right? A true representation of blockchain collectibles and art history. And yeah, with everyone out of the picture, I think Relics has a good shot at being the in some way the force that is going to really make this popular.
Yeah, I mean, you just reminded me of something too. In the last year, I got a VR headset to kind of catch up. I wanted to see the current state of VR because I had a one of the OG Oculus Rifts when those came out, the consumer version, and I wanted to get like a new headset to see what the current state of the play was with VR and like for metaverses and stuff. So um, I got the big screen beyond headset, and I had a friend show me kind of show me around and like we are uh, how would I put it like the in terms of resolution and capability, we're really close. I think we're like the early Oculus Rifts had a really terrible screen door effect where like it really killed the immersion and it was too blurry because the resolution was low and now these new headsets are so much better. I think we're just one or two gens away from it being like absolutely like a no-brainer. Like it's really close with these modern headsets. The resolution and I tinkered around with like VR chat just to see what that's like the most popular metaverse for normies right now. And I played around with that for a few hours and it's really amazing that it's um to see like I just I need like I also believe that like the however form it's going to take like these metaverses online like digital worlds are going to be really important and that just reinforced it to see it for myself in person how much further along it's gotten. So yeah, having a relics presence there would be really baller. I hey, if it plays out like you think it will, then we'll be kings of the metaverse.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Legends,
Yeah.
right? Legends. I mean, look at all the punk people, right?
Mhm.
Uh they all got basically famous, right? Everyone knows about Seed Phrase and DC and all these like celebrities on X, and because they had punks, right? They bought them, and in my in my opinion, it will of course transcend above this punk maximalism because they lost essentially lost their narrative, which is that they were first, right? And now um, the PFP genre is also dying, so they cannot say, "Oh, this is the first PFP," because that concept really didn't move the space forward, right? It was just a way of extracting value in most cases, and so I can see a lot of uh, punk holders joining Relics, right?
Oh
Instead of
yeah.
antagonizing it. I uh, I had a lot of people from V2 punks antagonizing the ideas of Relics or me as a person. Yes, yes, I'm
That's
banned.
crazy.
I'm
What?
banned in the punk Discord, right? Because they
Really?
don't yeah, they don't want me to talk about uh, the truth basically, right? Or they say it's not important. They say being first is not that important or whatever. So they don't want me to argue with the punk value proposition. They see it as some kind of self-fulfilling um thing. And they are going to get humbled because yeah, we are not going to see this PFP stuff ever again. Hopefully, maybe as a little bit, as a small sector, but not as the dominant force. And then all the the nuances and the different kinds um of NFT infrastructure that was used in the early times get appreciated as well, besides punks. So that's what I anticipate.
I think punks will still be around. I don't think there'll be like probably as big of a gap between them and these other projects. I've been really surprised that we didn't see more. I did help get I did help a punk owner get a broker deal for him to get a Naka. I've been really surprised that we haven't seen more punk owners um, get serious about like the historic thesis and take it to its logical conclusion, and again, like branch out and get some of these earlier projects. I mean, so it seems it's very strange that there's been so little um, overlap. I The other thing that just reminded me of too that I was thinking about like what's changed and or what's happened in the last year, and one is we've seen these like the rise of meme coins, with like everyone trading meme coins. And one of the things I thought was really interesting is that for all these people that have made fortunes on these meme coins, we haven't seen um, we haven't seen people like really take that their big bag of profits and go back and then just start scooping historic NFTs, like at least the select ones, like I thought they would, like like a Nakamoto for people that are like for people that are making money on like Pepe or the Pepe scene or any of that stuff. I was just surprised that we haven't seen. I guess you could look at it to your point that maybe it's just really the how early in that bull market we are, is that we haven't even seen that rotation of the basically recycling the profits into status slash collectibles. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like we have in the past, I mean, Relics grew 10% in the last 3 years when it comes to members.
Mhm.
Only 10%. Uh, and the people that are actively collecting, we had some people that joined like Zax, right?
Mhm.
Rayo, um, who else? Like some very like OTM, like all these people they became uh like relics, like active daily active members, right? And they understood what what we are about, right? What this is all about. And yeah, it's for the few right now, for the few, and most people even they need this spark again, right? They need someone that leads the masses in some way, right? They always need someone who, I don't know, takes a couple of thousands and just buys, right? They just buy. And then they're like, oh yeah, there are these old NFTs from the last run, and the supply is forever limited, right? And they have a solid collector space, and then of course, then it gets rolling, right? And I really think that this spark is going to happen from inside,
Mhm.
from NFT, from Relics members, that they make money from their shitcoin trades and then just buy stuff, right? That's what I have been doing. But of course, right now it's we are at in some way I would are we at all-time low sentiment in Relics? I
I
mean
would.
the chat is pretty active, like
Yeah.
very active. But
Well, I was going to bring up that Shaban posted a graphic that had the data for Counterparty, and the what he had collected was the number of active wallets. Um, and I was looking at this graphic, so um, there's still like today, there's still below 1,000 active Counterparty wallets, in 2024, which is uh, crazy when you think about it. That being like the really the one of the earliest and most um, I don't know, prolific platforms on Bitcoin for NFTs right now. So
Yeah.
anyway, just shows that like you said that the activity and sentiment or just interest in this stuff is very low right now.
Yeah, but I mean, the most people they need some kind of reassurance that NFTs are going to be back, right?
Mm.
And most are not in this position, right? They don't really understand what NFTs were, right? They are just they were just participating in something. They want to extract value, or they want to pose as someone. And but I mean, I'm pretty much unbothered, and the relics people are as well, right? There is no way that I'm going to sell my bags now. Like now, like sell them now. I mean, there is no way that I could do this. It's no yeah. The only reason is to rotate, right? But yeah, I really want to have like a good play, a shitcoin play, just to have some liquidity and just buy stuff again.
Yeah, that would be great. I haven't really I think the only thing I've done with shit coins in a long time is I bought some of that II coin when that came out.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, this is an interesting development that I didn't anticipate um in this year, right? We had a very surprising yeah, what is it called? Hype around old shitcoins,
yeah, uh-huh.
right? So Mistcoin, we had the DAO where we gave away Mistcoin for supporters of the historical NFT space, and uh, they went to, I don't know, $60 per mist coin, to 60 million market cap, basically.
Hmm.
Um, then we had BTC on ETH, which is also from 2015, which is 21 million coins, named Bitcoin on Ethereum. And then we had AA coin, right, which was discovered by Godish. And yeah, this is the first shitcoin, or the first meme coin on ETH, right? It has a name. It had a faucet where you could claim it, and also a picture um, with this very exotic Madagascar yeah, finger monkey.
Exotic is one way to put it, Blackstar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an AA, right? It's an AA. In German, we call it the finger animal, because it has like a very long finger, and it's nearly extinct. And for some reason, in 2015, someone made an AA coin with 6 million supply and a faucet where you could claim it. And yeah, it had some. This whole sector became so popular, and the demand was there, that we now have an old coins chat in the relics Discord, where yeah, and emojis as well, a coin emojis. So very interesting, right? Very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's so funny that with the explosion of normal normal AKA meme coins, like Pepe and I think that's the big one right now. But there's like not Shiba Inu is the current one, but With I think was the other big one in this cycle. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's that other meme historic meme coins got a little bit of love, which um I don't see why they wouldn't, still have some sort of inherent value long term, especially if relics eventually pump. Why wouldn't these like the very first tokens on FB have some sort of value? I don't know.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
interesting. And the I personally I just love the like the image of the of those IIs is like or AAs is like it's all it's almost horrific, but it's also captivating too.
yeah, yeah. They look horrendous, right?
They do.
Yeah, they're nocturnal as well, right? So, and they're very rare to spot in Madagascar. But yeah, maybe if it becomes widely successful and we make a lot of money with it, we could like collectively fly to Madagascar and just I don't know, build something for to protect them, right? Or like what is it called? Donate money to for the cause of protecting the species, right? That would be also a very interesting twist. Um, very interesting twist in the fabric of reality. But yeah, um, yeah, I can see them pump as well, right? Because there are so many millions of shitcoins that have been launched in the past decade, and A is the first one, and it has so many like unique features that it's yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing that's cool about it is or that I thought was cool is that it has a and I don't know why they picked 6 million out of all the numbers, but 6 million is a rather reasonable supply. Same thing with mist coin, unlike usually with meme coins or shit coins, there's like zillions and zillions of them. Like I think like Pepe, that the new Pepe coin is something like it was like trillions or something.
Yeah,
Like Dogecoin is in the I think it's in the hundreds of billions, and so to have something where owning like one AA coin or one mist coin actually does mean something because
yeah,
there's like zillions and zillions of them out there too.
yeah. I mean, the reason why meme coins have these crazy numbers is just for like the psychological effect that people look at. Oh, I have so many of them, right? So many zeros. Um, yeah, it is. It's like this concept has been unexplored, right? This market has been unexplored. There hasn't been an altcoins relics bull run ever, right? We
Yeah,
had this initial hype phase, but after that, so it is much easier to participate in this market, right? Because you just buy the coin like you buy any other shit coin. You don't have to look at rarities or something. So they might even outperform some of the relics, right? Who
I could see
knows?
that. I mean,
Yeah,
like if they, I need to probably get some more, but if they did pump, I know I'd inevitably cycle it back into more. I was kicking myself for I had already sold my mist coin, and I in order to get I was really happy with it. I got a Ethereum tile, but then then
yeah,
when it mooned to like $60 a coin, I was like
yeah,
hating my life.
yeah,
But
yeah. That, but you never know,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I'm still happy that I got I'm still happy, like really honored to I got I think I got a 1.2 tile out of that, which I always really wanted. So I could definitely see you know these really pumping. I mean, especially it could almost be a meme to trade them. If the relics themselves are basically out of reach, then I don't know.
Yeah,
It could be an interesting side play or just something that people trade amongst themselves in that in our community too.
yeah. It will all be about rotation, right? If Ethereum goes to 100 ETH in a couple of months time during the bull, uh, and the rest is still very like at the bottom, I'm going to sell Ethereum, right? I'm going to sell an Ethereum tile, and I will buy the rest of the relics because I like the ratios out of order again, right? That's just the way that I think. And when everything is has gone up and AA hasn't, then I'm gonna buy AA, right? It's the way that I operated for the last 3 years, right? I go, I go after these just mathematical ratios of floor price and supply and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be fun to see, to see where we're at in another year. I'm very curious to. I have no idea how to predict how things are going to play out. Again, there's so much stuff in the air, but I could definitely see, I could see it us getting another bull market, and if we have it in relics next year, I have to admit I'd be a little bit disappointed because I want more time to keep stacking, but there could be worse things, I guess, right?
Yeah, but it is like I like I really think this is going to be the last year. Like after this in 2025, early 2025, we will have the bull, and then it's basically over.
Well, I guess my follow-up question though, I guess for longer or bigger picture. So what we witnessed after the last bull run with the relics is that, we've seen this massive bleed off, where, everything is, in the dirt in comparison. Do you think that like we get big enough distribution to where prices get like, I guess, more stable where they don't like dump as hard, or do you think that we'll
Yeah,
still, yeah.
yeah, I think so. Every relic that exceeded a particular level of attention and price became the most stable, right? So we look at autoglyphs, we look at punks, we look at rocks, we look
Oh
at
yeah, I forgot about rocks.
yeah, founder kitties. They all they are all stable in like they kept their value the best from out of any NFT in the bear market, right? So the relics that made it to their respectable evaluations, um, they they yeah they're stable, right? So we will. I think that next time that relics pump, the other ones they will also will be much more stable because we have a collector space for almost 4 years on these, right? Punks also needed that. They also had a collector space before they could like have this fundamental community behind them.
It's funny since you mentioned that I pulled it up while we're talking. So, the floor price for Ether Rocks is 790 ETH, or just over $2.1 million, and but the top offer is for $1,300.
Yeah. Now it's yeah, nobody can get one probably. It is there have been some some sales in this year for the Ether Rock. I think two or three or like five, I don't know, for 300,000 or 400,000. They also auctioned at Sotheby's.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I guess I missed that one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So th there were sales, definitely.
I mean, I think it's funny. I think they're funny. And again, I regret not buying one when I had the chance, when it was still on the website. But
Yeah,
like again, when we're talking about like rotation and value, I mean, as cool as it would be to own an Etherrock, like there's way better stuff I would rather own
yeah,
than drop like
yeah,
300 or a million on a rock,
yeah, exactly. And this is going to be, I mean, I see that there is going to be a point where this mass um rotation is going to happen, right? Because people realize, okay, we I'm not going to 10x on my punk, right? It's not going to happen, right? There is no way that my punk is going to 10x before mooncats are going to 10x. right? Or before all the others are going to
Yeah.
10x. So it's just massive opportunity cost to just hold the punk. And we will see that. We will see that when there is, yeah, the first, yeah, when there's like when Mooncats approach like 1 ETH or something, get to a more respectable price, then we will see people that are going to rotate. And at some point in the future, we will have a market that is completely in balance and in harmony and in logic as well, right? This is what happens with every collector's in every collector space in every niche. We have evaluations that make perfect sense and that are a mixture of ratios in comparison to other cards, in relation to scarcity, in relation to age, in relation to prestige, and also individual emotional factors that also play in. But that are not the most dominant when it comes to pricing, right? So this is what I see, but it will take some time. It will take some time.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that too, and I don't know. I mean, it's a matter of years. I don't know how many, but yeah, I could it definitely would, I don't see why it wouldn't, like you said, kind of rationalize in the future where, if we have enough market participants and players, it'd be more akin to something like classic cars where, there's kind of a most everyone knows what things are worth and, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Which, like, kind of I could definitely see things like, like Mooncats or whatever. I mean, like I could definitely see that those going for the equivalent of like what people now buying selling like old cars for, like, I don't know, like that would be a really wild outcome. And I don't really think it's that crazy though.
Yeah,
So
it isn't, right? It isn't. I mean, for us, it's we see these we see these things every day, right? Every day we see a Mooncat or a Punk or whatever, right? And we buy and we trade. For us, it has become a habit, and we tend to just don't really understand why we are here. Sometimes we have to zoom out, look at the meta, and look at all the implications that brought us here, right? So these are essentially treasures of human heritage, right? Even they may look like pictures, but they are treasures of a new digital world that we are slowly entering. And of course, why not, right? Why not? Why shouldn't a Mooncat be at 50,000, right? Why shouldn't an Ethereal be at a couple of millions? Why shouldn't a SOG or a rare Pepe card be at 5 figures? Why not? Right?
yeah,
So
I'm with you. When you think about it logically, if we actually do have any like meaningful interest in the sector, like it's easier for me to think about like SOGs or rare Pepes because those are like, they have like pretty known quantities and they're semi-fungible. Like for example, I can't imagine like even 1,000 supply rare Pepe. Like how could in a bigger market, how could anyone be able to buy one for less than, like you said, 5 figures? And
yeah,
there's only 1,000
yeah,
in a global stage.
yeah. On a I mean, it is. There's so few of them, right? And it's. I mean, they're almost a decade old as well, right? So it's everything is there. The scarcity, the history, the the prestige of owning them, right? The communities there. We know exactly about which ones exist, where you can buy them. Everything is accessible. It's just a matter of waiting. It's not just a matter of time.
Well, I definitely like the mental image of relics being like the premier spot in the metaverse. Geez, you know,
Yeah.
talk about being able to flex in the online, right? You know,
Yeah.
we'll have the grails, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there is for Counterparty, there's some interesting stuff coming, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a new marketplace in development, a new wallet, a new UI
Yeah,
and
I guess that's good.
UX.
Yeah, we should touch on that.
Yeah.
I g- I've seen the preview of the Shaban and Everdream Soft are developing, and they just made this public, I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They're developing a new web interface for Counterparty, so where people can trade, like buy and trade, um, in a web interface with, like you said, with like a web wallet, Counterparty web wallet, where you can. It's much more like OpenSea, where even though you're interacting with the DEX on the back end, it's much more user friendly and intuitive. Where up until now, like most people, in order to interact with the DEX and Counterparty, you had to use the free wallet and then the exchange tab, which would keep crashing as like janky, and it's just it's a lot simpler, for people to be able to navigate this user interface, and it looks great too. So I think that's going to be a really big improvement and help people buy and sell easier. I know there's also some other improvements in the pipe for Counterparty that the developers are working on. Another big upgrade they're working on, potentially integrating Counterparty's account model with the ordinal style UXTO model, to enable atomic swaps and some other neat features in the future too. So that's definitely also going to add a lot more strength to the Counterparty capabilities as well. A lot of interest. I mean, Counterparty really is still slept on for its importance in the early NFT scene. So it'll be interesting to see. They're laying the foundations for all the stuff in the future. So it'll be interesting to see that play out in the next year or two as well.
Yeah, it is very, very like I had the privilege to see uh what they developed, right? And it will probably blow you away, right? Because it's something that it has been due for such a long time and will be so satisfying, right? There's one feature that I can show you or I can tell you is you will have when you will have like a MetaMask kind of experience, right? You will have uh, a browser wallet like MetaMask, and then you can just um, log in, right? And then you can see your collections of counterparty assets, and the collections are separated, right? And you can see your collector progress in percentage points. So you can see how many SOG cards you have. You can see how many Rare Pepe cards you have for a full set, right? And if you go into your collection, you have, for example, you have all the Spells of Genesis cards listed, and the ones you own have color, right? So the ones you own that are in color, and the ones that are lacking are in black and white, right? So you can scroll through your collection, and then you can see, okay, I own this, I don't own this, and you can click on the ones that you don't own, and then you go directly um
The
to the
market.
market. Yes, to the market, and then you can see bids, you can do trades as well. Um, so everything. It's like it's crazy. It really is crazy, and I think it will in our niche it will create some havoc, and also it will become very easy to create stuff, right? To mint on Counterparty
Oh
has
yeah.
been very clunky, right? It's almost a decade old, this whole tech, but they will make it so that you can mint your own creations in 3 clicks, right? With
That's a great point. I
yes,
forgot to bring up. Yeah, the work that they've done on that is really impressive. Like one of the features that they were demoing is the ability, like you said, with 3 clicks you can even if you don't have the requisite XCP to register a name or whatever, it can transparently go out and buy that under the hood and register your asset name and all that stuff. It's really slick.
yeah. So it will be, and it's coming out soon as well, right? It's coming out soon, and I cannot wait to see my SLG collection in a stylish way, right? In a cool way. Because of course, when we have digital assets, the user interface and the user experience is one of the most important things, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, like Shaban totally gets how, displaying it that way, like for nerds that are collectors, that it really like it's good. It hits you in that OCD thing where it makes you want to buy the rest of what you don't have, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly, exactly. And you don't have this feeling when you look at Free Wallet, right?
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
look
for
at Free
sure.
Wallet, you're like, okay, I really need to delete this shitty app because it looks so fucking like horrendously bad. And
It
what
it
are
doesn't have a good, yeah, it doesn't have a good like gallery for your collection.
nothing really, right? It's just listed and everything. All there are 100 tabs and 2000 functions, and it's all like it's just shit, right? It's shit. The logo is shit. The name is shit. Everything is shit about it. Sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, right? And a counterparty would have been a lot more present in today's collective consciousness if, yeah, if it would be more presentable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the other thing, like I I believe, didn't Shaban say that he was working on integration with the hardware wallets too for this web wallet?
That might be,
I
I don't
think
know
so. But
anymore.
that would be, I mean, that's one of the few remaining bits that, if that web wallet works with your ledgers and Trezors and whatnot, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very exciting. Like, yeah, and hats off to them for doing the work to make this happen too. Like you said, we haven't had a really slick modern interface for Counterparty, and I think this is going to be a really big improvement.
Yeah, think so as well.
Yeah. Um, Trying to think of anything else we should cover now. Well, I guess as are there any big purchases that you made this year that you want to brag about, or I know you've increased your Mooncat collection to didn't you hit like 3 digits?
I hit 100, yeah. I hit 100 and I bought a lot of SOGs because there are monthly burn events
Oh yeah.
where one card is selected, um, and they sell them, and after they sold them for a couple of days, they just burn the rest of the supply. So it becomes an instant grail basically. They keep like 26 for the leaderboards and 10 for the team for like giveaways or something, and the rest is burned, right? So they had Clef card and Swarm card and Mushroom card or Mushroom Imp, and what else? Uh, Row Romance, Bat Romance, and Kraken card, which was designed by the Kraken Exchange back then, um, which is the big like one of the OG crypto exchanges, right? Which is also huge. And of course the XCP card, which
Oh
is like
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So this one I really I bought 10.
Oh great. I
Yeah,
was only able to afford one, but I couldn't not get one.
yeah, it was I was like, oh my, I have to, right? because it's the XCP card. It's from 2015. One of I think it's the eighth card that was released, and I had to get a lot of them because I know, like, now this is on the same level as Genesis card or GOX card or like the other low supply 2015s, and it's also very iconic design, and it is representative for Counterparty itself, right? So
Yeah.
for me, it was like absolute no-brainer. I had to get 10 of them. And I hope that they are not going to do more burn events because I'm very low on liquidity. Yeah, yeah. I
I
think
know that.
I think I sold, was it because I had a lot more Mooncats, right? I had like 120 almost, and I sold some Mooncats just to get the XCP cards.
Yeah, I one of the pain points is like I haven't been able to buy multiples like you, but I've bought like singles from some of these burn events, and you only get like a day's notice or something to
Yeah,
come up with,
yeah,
like I think the cheapest so far has been like $250, which
yeah,
again it's a deal, but hey, if you're, I don't know, it's still having to come up with it, right? So
yeah. And I mean, if I missed any of these, right, I would be very sad because it's like I think it's the best opportunity right now.
yeah, I mean,
For
and what's
relics.
crazy is like you were
Absolutely.
saying too, is like a lot of these cards aren't like even before the burn, they like a lot of them were crazy high issuance anyway. I think some of them were like 1,000 or 1,500 or whatnot. I
Yeah,
mean, so
800 or
yeah, I
400.
mean,
Yeah.
like again, if I had more money, I would have bought like more of that Clef card. And same thing with the XCP card, because I mean, yeah, 2015, like uh now relatively low supply. I mean, I don't know, it seems like a no-brainer for me to me.
Yeah. Yeah, they will go for 5 figures. Easy. They will go for 5 figures easy. So I think Shaban is just he's just rewarding the 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 people right now,
Yeah.
right? He's giving away money basically, or he's giving away like these massive opportunities to get like these absolutely almost free entries, right? It's like he would burn Dogecoin card, right?
Oh God. I still need to get one of those too. I mean,
Yeah, you never. I told him that um like it maybe it makes more sense to wait for the bull, right?
yeah.
For these kind of burns, and but yeah, and it's also very smart because you have, okay, now you know the people that are buying now that are they are the hardcore collectors, right? They have the bell notifications on,
Yeah.
right? They are ready. They are ready for the burn event. And yeah, it's true, right? So they get rewarded for it. And
You know, I'm terrible at this stuff, Blackstar, because I know some people that are more savvy that are probably like buying and flipping or whatever, but all I do is just like buy and hold, so I'm not like
yeah,
super sophisticated with stuff.
yeah, but it also works,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. Like
Also
long
works.
term, I think it'll be, it's I learned a long time ago from crypto that it's a lot easier to like to outsmart yourself by trying to overtrade and just end
Yeah,
up getting wrecked. So
yeah, yeah, and there's also a very interesting SOG. It's called coal, right? Like coal that you use for a fire.
yeah,
And it's like back in the day, it was in 2016, they were like some kind of Easter egg cards. I don't know exactly the story behind it. Um and when I attended the OG Bitcoin event in Lisbon earlier this year, then he presented the whole. I know it was actually in NFT Paris, right? There was an SOG event, and I was there as speaker. I was a speaker at the Bitcoin. OG event in Lisbon as well. And I every participant in these events got like a coal card. They're only like 100 or something.
Oh wow.
And back in the day, when you had to like fuse them or something, and then you get like a coal 2 card, which is the same card with the same shitty picture of coal, but two of them. Yeah, it's like rocks, right? Like ether rocks, but just coal. And there is, I think there are only, I think 20, 30 or 50 of the coal twos, and there's, I think, only 10 of coal three. It's like the last level, yeah. But it's a very interesting Easter egg kind of card, and yeah, I got them at the real life event. Yeah.
Oh,
So this
that's
is
great.
something I can brag about.
Yeah. Yeah, how did your presentation go, by the way?
Yeah, so in Paris there were a lot of people. It was a very full room. In Lisbon there were even more, right? Adam Krellenstein was
Mhm.
there. Um who else? Like all the OGs. Tatiana was there, Theo was there. Um it was very full and it was very great event, right? And I was just there talking about NFT Relics, what we do and what we are looking for and how we evaluate things. Shaban always asked great questions actually. And then we had some yeah, we there was a little party at the event. It was in a restaurant or something. And yeah, so I'm getting a lot better in public speaking. The first time at was it HNFT Fest in Barcelona, I was always very nervous, but now I'm very confident. Right? You never know to what event you will be invited to speak. Right? So yeah, that was also that's also cool.
Yeah, well, we definitely have to have a relics event after we have our bull market to celebrate. So,
Yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%, no doubt.
oh
No
gosh,
doubt about it. Yeah.
I
All the
mean,
OGs, all the OGs in one yeah, in one place.
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think how obvious it's been from the beginning and still obvious right now. So, hey, either we're insane, Blackstar, or we have the vision and we're going to be proven right, which I think
Yeah,
it's the case. So,
I think so as well.
yeah, well, definitely good times. Is there anything else you wanted to from last year you wanted to cover, or anything else that you're looking forward to going
Uh,
forward?
well, I mean, if we look at Bitcoin, Ethereum charts, they look pretty good, right? If you look at the weekly, they look very pretty much parabolic. Bitcoin has been in the same range for months now, right? From like this 58,000 to 70,000 range. I mean, we all know what's going to happen once Bitcoin breaks this level, right?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it will be fucking great. And I can't wait for the development of Relics. I can't wait for the OG creators finally getting their due credit, right? So much to look for, right? Every day I wake up, I'm like one day closer to the vision that we all shared for these 3 years now almost.
yeah, I'm really stoked too. It's funny. I don't really pay attention to the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum much anymore because I don't really hold a meaningful amount anymore. So but I just pulled up the CoinGecko, and yeah, we're at Bitcoin is under 60 and Ethereum is under 3,000. So I mean, it'll be fun to see where we're at in another year. And
Yeah. Oh man, I
because
can't
like
wait.
you, I
I can't
mean,
wait, ZeroG.
we have these ETFs buying, like forced buying, like ongoing. I don't see how it doesn't get like really, violent upside eventually. So
Yeah.
well, yeah, thanks for joining me today. It's certainly been a lot of fun catching up on the on what's been going on in the relic space.
Yeah. Thank you, ZeroG, for inviting me. And I can't wait for the next one.